I got it! If you've been tracking your calories in MyFitnessPal, and when you stop tracking, everything goes buck wild, like you were just on the back of a bucking bronco, and it flicked you off, and you flew 20 feet in the air, slammed down on the ground, and somehow a brownie fell into your mouth, we need to talk. Because,
Call me.
here's the deal. Ring, ring.
Call me.
Ring, ring.
Yep.
Hey, Sarit.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, how's it going tracking in MyFitnessPal?
Oh, I just feel like a brownie just fell into my mouth because I miss tracking it
So
for
what?
one day.
So what are you gonna do about it?
That's why I'm here.
Okay, so here's the plan. We recommend in our community that you just don't track it in MyFitnessPal or any other food calorie counting, macro counting app, because here's the deal. And this stresses people out. So we want to walk you through this like anxiety inducing fear of deleting MyFitnessPal off of your phone, okay? Because if you don't want to do something for the rest of your life, but the habits that you create in order to lose weight and keep it off, you have to do for the rest of your life, then don't start with what you don't want to keep doing. Make sense? So if you are currently using a food tracking app, not to say that there's not benefits in those. It's good that it creates awareness, but if you become dependent on it, then it's just like becoming dependent on anything else. You are not in control because you depend on the functionality of something else. And if that something else is not happening, what do you do?
Mm-hmm.
So this is why we want to help you to overcome having to rely on things like this, but it can be scary to get rid of because maybe it's all you know. And you might have some anxiety about like, okay, well, if I'm not tracking, like, how do I know how many calories I'm eating and if I'm at a deficit from what I'm burning so that I can lose weight? This is the dilemma, right? So how would you walk somebody through this?
Yeah, so, what I want to share with you about this is that if you're tracking in MyFitnessPal, you have the right intention, but you have the wrong approach. And that's why you're probably like, shame on me if I do, shame on me if I don't. Okay, so the intention is good because if you are tracking, that means that you're leaning into accountability. Okay.
Good.
And that's why a lot of people who track on MyFitnessPal, if you don't for a day, right? If you're like, I don't have accountability, nobody's gonna know, a brownie just falls in your mouth. Like, okay, not surprised. So you need accountability. Okay, we all thrive on accountability. And if you resist accountability, it's probably because you're just not ready to be real with yourself. And that's okay. But if you are ready, willing, able, and are maybe actively pursuing a change, then you know that accountability is key. Okay? So, however, it is the wrong approach because it makes you obsess over things that in the long term are not actually serving you, like calories and macros.
100%.
Okay? In fact, it is going to only worsen your confidence in how you're eating because you're becoming more reliant. Mm-hmm. So the question becomes, okay, well, how do I then hold myself accountable, but, I am not, reliant on these wrong approaches. So like what we have the ENS journal where you are able, it's literally like, where is it?
This is yours.
Or you can just hold yourself accountable by writing down what you eat, okay? And, like in our coaching programs too, right? So like here, it's like you write, this is what I ate at any given point in time throughout the day. And, you can write how much was it and the quality of the food. So
if you want to grab one of those, by the way, check the link, check the description. There should be a link somewhere down there.
Yeah, so when it comes to your food, what you need to consider is not necessarily how many calories or how many macros it is. It's going to piss off a lot of people, but that's the truth. That is not sustainable. It could be, like okay at the beginning. However, that is the reason why it's stressing you out is because deep down intuitively you know that it's not sustainable. Okay, caveman did not have MyFitnessPal. Why were they so fit? Because they ate the right food. So what you need to consider when you eat is, am I eating 3 things? Number 1.
So it stresses them out to have to log and track and all the details. And it's a freaking annoying when you're like at dinner with your family at a nice restaurant and you're like plugging into things under the table because you're like, oh, I have to hurry.
Because now you can't be present.
Yeah, so that's annoying and like stressful, but then also letting go of that is kind of stressful because what the heck do I do? So now this is what the heck do you do?
Yeah, so when it comes to your food, there's 3 things to consider. Number 1, am I eating a real food or am I eating a food-like product? Okay, MyFitnessPal will not tell you that because it can show you macros and calories all day, but whether it's a real food or a food-like product doesn't matter. Okay, so you're leaving a lot of room for error because it is a long-term game of how are you manipulating your body and what are you providing your organs to make sure that they give you the most in return.
So when Sarit says food-like product, that means a food, like
fake
something
food
that is edible but is not real food. Like cornbread from like the box, like that's not food. That is an edible product.
Yeah. Okay. So
MyFitnessPal doesn't tell you.
Yeah, and it can say like low carb bread, whatever, 90 calories. Yeah, but you're still focusing on the wrong thing, and that's why it's stressing you out because intuitively you're like, I know that it doesn't make sense, but it holds me accountable, so it helps. It will only help you so much. Okay, so that's one. The other one is, what is the quality of the food? Is this food actually serving your body and the processes in it and your metabolism, or is it maybe stalling it? Because it can have the right amount of calories all day, but if it's actually making shit in your body worse, then is it helping? And the other thing to take into consideration is the amount that you're eating. Okay, so what I would recommend is relieve yourself of your FitnessPal app or whatever tracking app you have, okay, and just literally, whether you want to use the ENS journal or just a blank piece of paper, okay, and for everything that you eat, okay, like take a day in your life. What did I eat? What was the overall quality of it? And in the description, whatever you will click on, it will take you to all of these resources that will give you the guidelines necessary so you'll be able to determine what is the overall quality of it and am I eating the right amount in relation to my body. Now here's the deal. When you're giving your body what it needs, even if you're a little bit over on one thing, like,
not the end of the world.
It's not the end of the world.
It's what you do consistently over time that is going to make the biggest difference. So if you're restricting and logging everything and you're being perfect in MyFitnessPal, and then you go like completely off the rails and you're eating everything. Sergeant's agreeing. Yeah, he's really, nobody is being hurt and nobody is injured in the making of this video. And at some point he will finish. There we go. And if you're being consistently inconsistent with like the swings that you have when you're logging versus when you're not logging, that over time will be worse for you than, oops, I went a little bit over and I had a couple of extra grams of, chicken thigh. Mm-hmm. Or, oh, oops, I had a little extra few almonds.
But here's the deal, because you might wonder, well, what if I have like a little bit of extra this here and there? If you're holding yourself accountable, you will watch out for that before that happens.
Yeah.
Just being honest, okay? And this is why this is important. Like, write it down. Like, just be kind to yourself by being hard on yourself in terms of accountability, that you're not giving yourself any slack. Even if it's just like, oh, I'm just gonna have like a little bit of almonds here and a little bit of almonds here. You gotta take that into account.
So have peace of mind in the fact that I'm hoping you can still hear this video because Sarit's mom just got in our car and I think my phone connected to the car. Anyways, hopefully you can hear this. So, you know, have peace from a sense that if you go a little bit over in your blueberries, or if you go a little bit over in, you know, some kind of healthy food, that is not going to be the thing that deters you. Okay. So if you can get yourself to have peace of mind in that, then you will free yourself from feeling like you're trapped in MyFitnessPal world. And then eventually you will be able to find that consistency. And what I want to do is I'm actually going to put a link in the description for our Bang and Body Blueprint at its discount. So if you click on that link in the description, we will actually have you fill out an assessment. We're going to give you a ton of resources. And then what we'll do is, you will have, from that assessment, we'll send you over the portion sizes that you want in the way that we have our people measure them, so that you can know and have confidence that, like, hey, I'm eating the right amount of food for me in the right quantities, the right macronutrients, without having to log or track anything in MyFitnessPal or any kind of other app. Mm-hmm. So I just thought about that.
Yeah. So, look, this is a very common thing, and you know, the reason why just log, and I also want to share with you, this is not to bash MyFitnessPal app or anything at all, because it's a great solution, but it will serve you for only so long. Okay, so what you want to keep in mind is,
I wouldn't say it's a great solution. Is that what you said? I think it's a great tool.
Tool is what I meant. Did I say? Yeah. Anyways, so you know, it's a great tool, but there is a better way. The reason why it doesn't work in the long run is it's because it makes you be overly fixated on the details rather than look at the bigger picture. And the higher it is that you want to go, the more you have to think in terms of big picture. Okay. So
there you go. Hopefully that's helpful for you. Free yourself from MyFitnessPal. If you like this video, click that little thumbs up thing at the underneath the video. And if somebody else that you know, any of your friends or anybody, is also stuck on the MyFitnessPal off and on trend, send this video to them so that they can benefit as well. And we will see you next time.
Bye.